There are some stories that don't leave you easily. Not because they are loud, but because they are quiet. Stories that make you pause and think about your own life. This is one of them. A 72-year-old man, healthy by appearance, living a normal life, suddenly was gone. No warning, no long illness, no time to prepare, people said. It happened so fast, but did it really? Or were there signs, small, quiet warnings, that were simply ignored? Today, we will walk through this story. Not to create fear, but to create awareness. Because sometimes, what we call sudden was actually a series of whispers we chose not to hear. One his life before, his name was not famous. He was just like many others, a father, a friend. A man who had lived through struggles and joys. At 72 he believed he was doing fine. He could walk. He could talk. He could live independently. To others he looked normal, but inside, his body had begun to change, like many people his age. He ignored small discomforts. He didn't want to worry his family. Sign1 he ignored constant fatigue. He often felt tired. Not just after activity, but even after resting. Some mornings, he woke up already exhausted. But he brushed it aside. Age, he said. He reduced his activities. Stopped going out as much, but he never asked why. Persistent fatigue is not just aging. It can be your body struggling internally, your heart working harder, your oxygen levels lower than they should be. But when ignored, fatigue becomes the first silent warning. His body was asking for help, but he thought it was normal. Sign2 he dismissed chest discomfort. There were moments when he felt a slight pressure in his chest. Not pain, just discomfort, sometimes after walking, sometimes while resting. It came, and then disappeared. He called it gas. He didn't want to go to the doctor, because in his mind, if it wasn't severe, it wasn't serious. But the heart rarely starts with loud warnings. It begins with whispers, a tightness, a pressure, a signal that something is not right, and ignoring those signals can be most dangerous choice. Sign3 he overlooked dizziness. There were days when he felt lightheaded. Standing up, walking, even sitting sometimes. The world would spin for a moment. He would pause, wait, and continue. He never told anyone, because it passed quickly. But dizziness is not random. It can be a sign of poor blood circulation, heart rhythm problems, blood pressure instability. Your body is trying to protect you by slowing you down, but if you ignore it, it may not stop you gently next time. Sign4 he ignored shortness of breath. He began noticing something. Walking felt harder. Climbing stairs took more effort. He needed to pause, to catch his breath. But instead of questioning it, he adjusted his life, walked less, avoided stairs. And slowly, his world became smaller. Shortness of breath is not just tiredness. It can be a warning that your heart is struggling. Your lungs are not functioning fully. Your body is not receiving enough oxygen, but instead of listening, he adapted to the problem, and adaptation can sometimes hide danger. Sign5 he stopped eating properly. His appetite changed. He didn't feel hungry often. Meals became smaller. Sometimes he skipped them entirely. He thought it was normal. But nutrition is not optional. Especially in old age, when your body weakens. It needs more support, not less. Loss of appetite can signal internal imbalance, emotional stress, physical decline. But he ignored it, and slowly, his body lost strength. Sign6 he kept everything to himself. Perhaps the most dangerous sign was not physical, it was silence. He didn't share his discomfort. He didn't talk about his symptoms. He didn't want to burden anyone, so he carried everything alone. But health is not something you protect with silence. It is something you protect with awareness and communication. Sometimes, the biggest danger is not the problem itself, but hiding it. Final moment. One morning, like any other, he woke up. But something felt different. There was no time to react, no time to explain, no time to fix what had been ignored for so long, and just like that, he was gone. People said, it was sudden, but now you know, It wasn't. Final message: your body speaks to you every day, not loudly, but honestly. Fatigue, discomfort, small changes. These are not inconveniences, they are messages. After 60. After 70, listening becomes more important than ever, because what you ignore today may not wait for tomorrow, so don't fear these signs. Understand them, because awareness is what turns a silent warning into a second chance.